So in this session, I'm going to discuss what is a view in Django. So what is a view in Django and what is the responsibility of a view? As earlier we have discussed, view is nothing. We can say view is responsible to prepare required response to the end user. Whatever required response to the end user required to prepare, we can prepare required response to the end user using view. View basically what content we can say? View contains business logic. Business business logic. Okay. When you're developing the web application using the Django framework, when client make a request to access any resources, so client, how you can access? So when client make a request to access a web resources, so that request can be handled, yes or no, by a view. So now view is responsible to prepare required response to the end user, the user which make a request. So here we need to define a view which handle the request. So we can create view two ways in Django. How we can create a view, guys? So in simple term, you need to remember view is nothing. View is responsible to return a response, give a response back to the user. So view is responsible to giving the response to the user. View and whenever client make a request, so request will be handled by the view, and we will generate the response and send the response back to the user. So we can create view two ways. So there are two ways. There are two types of view. We can create views two ways. One is a function-based view. Function-based view. Second one is a class-based view. So let's understand first of all function-based view. How we can create function-based view. Okay. So go to your project. So last time we have created this project, first project. You can check here. Once you open this project, under that project, you can check here. This is the first project and expand this project. Under this project, we have one file. We need to create one file, views.py. Here you can check here. Here we need to create one file with name views.py. So let's now, here we creating one file. So now I'm going to create one file with name views.py. Actually, this file, what content? It contains view. Whatever view is required for your web application, you can define all required views under your views.py file. So last time we have discussed several files and folder inside a project, whatever is created during the project creation. So here you need to understand if you want to define any view, so you need to define view under views.py file. If there is file is not available, then you can create new file with name views.py and you can define a view. So here I'm going to create first simple view. So let's here we're going to create your views here. How we can create a view? View is nothing. View is responsible to prepare the response for the end user. We can define view using two ways, function based and class based. Let's understand how we can define function-based view. Function-based view is nothing just like defining a function in Python. How you can define a function in Python? Using def keyword, def and function name. Suppose I give the function name like display. So here your view name is a display. So normal function, how you can define? Normal function you can define in Python using def keyword, def and then function name. And you can give any function name, yes or no. Suppose we have defined one function which can take any parameter and it can return any value. But if you're defining view in Django, the view is nothing just like a function, but that function which take parameter as a request object. The function which take as a parameter request object and return the response back to the user and return the response. What return? And return the value in the form of response. That is called as a view. So view we can say in application when we are going to define view, so each view will be specified as one function. So you can define a number of views, but each view will be specified as a one function in which file views.py. So here, suppose I'm going to define one view with name display. So display is the name of the function, which is nothing we can say but one view. Each view should take at least one argument in the form of request object. And each view should return HTTP response object with our required response. This means in simple terms, we can say view is nothing just like a normal function, a function which take as a parameter request object and return response and return the value in the form of response format. This means which accepting the request and returning the response back to the user. That function you can call as a view. So here we have defined one function. This function is nothing we can call as a one view and which is take a request object and return a response in which form? In HTTP response. So if you want to return a response, so you can import HTTP response. If you want to return response object which contains the response for your client, you need to import HTTP response object. From where we can import? From Django. In Django, you can check. In Django, we have one package, HTTP package. From HTTP package, we can import HTTP response. HTTP response. We can import HTTP response. So using HTTP response, this HTTP response object helps to return HTTP response back to the user. So now I'm writing here return. Return what we want to return, HTTP response. I'm going to create HTTP response object, and here you can pass whatever response you want to return. Suppose I'm writing welcome to Django framework. I'm simple writing welcome to Django framework. I want to return simple response. Okay, now my view is created. So here we have created one view with name display. So you can create a number of views in your views.py file. Okay, once you have created a view, how you can access this view? View actually can accept request as an input and can perform whatever required operation you need to perform, you can perform, and you can provide a response finally to the end of user. So view basically nothing. View will accept request parameter as an input and perform required operations and provide proper response to the end of user. Once you define a view, now second question, how you can access this view? Okay, in case of web application, yes or no, if you want to access any web application, you can access URL pattern. So similar here we define one view with name display. So this view we can access using URL pattern. So using which URL pattern we can access this view? Suppose I want to write one URL pattern display hello. Yeah, suppose simple hello. Whatever URL pattern you want to define. I want to define one URL pattern hello. So if user make a request by typing this URL pattern /hello, then this view required to execute. When this required to execute, this view required to execute whenever client make a request by specify the URL pattern. Okay, now after defining this view, we need to bind the URL pattern for this view. Where we can define the URL pattern? So in your project, you can check here. Here we have one file, url.py file. Which file? We have url.py file. So you can check here. Here we have one file url.py file. Open that url.py file, and now you can check here. I'm going to define URL pattern for our view in url.py file. So this URL pattern will be based by end user to send a request for our views. Here you can check here. Here we have one list, URL pattern list. This list contains a URL pattern for your view. Whatever view you have created, so this URL pattern list contains all URL pattern for your views. So if you want to define one URL pattern for your view, so here nothing you need to do. You need to write path. Yes, no, you can check it. This path object can be helped to map URL pattern for your view. Using path object, we can map URL pattern for your view. So write down path. Okay, and here you can specify URL pattern. Suppose I specify URL pattern hello, single quote you can write. Within a single quote you can write URL pattern. So by which URL pattern you can access? I'm writing hello and then slash. And then for which view? Here you need to specify view. So here you need to import your view. So first of all, you need to import view. You need to import view from where? From current directory, we can say. From current directory, you need to import views. What you need to import? You need to import views. Once you import views, you can check in your current directory, we have one file views.py. Once you have import the view, you can check in views, you can check here we have one view, which name display. I have created one view with name display. Now you can access this display view that you have defined in views.py with this URL pattern. So when client make a request by specify this endpoint, then this view gets executed. Let's save this application, and now you can run your application. Now you can run this application. Now we're going to run this application. So how we can run this application? If you want to run this application, you need to write a command in terminal py manage.py run server. Now you need to run the server. So now you can check it once server is started. Now you can copy this URL, go to the browser, paste that URL, and you can access. So once you run it, you can check here what it's showing, page not found right now. Now you can check here. Here it's showing two views. Actually here one view is hello. Okay, I want to access which view? I want to access display view. So how you can access display view? By using this URL pattern. So now you can type slash, what is the URL pattern? Slash hello. Once you press enter, now you can check here. Now your view gets executed. Now you will get the response. Welcome to the Django framework. So this is a first way to create a view and how we can create a view in Django. I hope it's clear. Thank you.